What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to a brand new video. We are doing a Q&A because it's been a long time since we've done a Q&A, and we're doing Q&A in a nice little, we call this the vibe corner of this little apartment, right? We got some questions for you guys. Hanman's gonna be joining us because he got questions on his profile as well. So we're gonna have a fun time. And honestly, if questions go both ways, you might just both answer them.
Yep.
Makes it even more interesting. You want to start or me?
You can start.
All right, sick. Every time I do a Q&A, I get like 99% serious questions. So like, I don't know how this Q&A is gonna go. You're either gonna laugh or you're gonna get some mad value. So go ahead and grab your popcorn and let's go ahead and get right in this thing.
And then mine's always the opposite. I get trolls or jokes or something. All right.
This guy. All right. First question: when cutting and when bulking, how many pounds per week should you aim to gain or lose? When it comes to losing pounds, right? Based on your body weight, you can get away with about 1% of your body weight loss per week, right? Stay within that range. I wouldn't necessarily go over 1% per week. Then, you can lose too much energy, you can lose too much strength and muscle mass. When gaining, I would say about half, like 0.50%. So about, for most people, no matter where your body weight is, this is gonna be about half a pound to a pound a week is usually the best rate of gain when in a gaining phase.
Most memorable moment in 2020, both of you? I feel like it was the LA trip so far. That really
Hundo P.
Yeah. Especially meeting everybody for their first time, and a lot of people, it's first time going to LA too. I've never seen so many people get along that well.
Yeah, that was nuts. And I mean, if you haven't watched those videos, I highly recommend you to go back and watch those because, good moments, good talks, and just pure gratitude and positive emotion. When I think back to that, I immediately almost get emotional.
Yeah.
That's the way I feel about that LA trip. But, I think that trip alone really even ignited my vision and my drive even more so. So I'm always going to look back at that moment for the rest of my life.
Yeah. I still think about it every day. Honestly.
Loser. How did you manage everything when you were in college? Because I was doing coaching a little bit towards the end of college. Were you doing photography and stuff in college too?
I was trying to get into it more. I was helping Ape out a little bit, but it was more for free.
Gotcha.
And then I would do shoots here and there at our gym in college. But it was nothing serious until I graduated.
Yeah. With managing things in college, I honestly just made what I knew was going to bring me fulfillment and value my priority. And in a sense, I would always set aside time for the gym. No matter how much I had to study, I would always go to the gym no matter what. I'd always hit my macros no matter what. Even if I had to study, even if I had to work, whatever, I'm gonna hit them. With coaching and content, I was no matter what, I'm posting every day. No matter what, I'm gonna try to get clients every single day. And once I started committing to what actually made me happy while I was in school, my grades tanked. So I'm honestly not one to really say I balanced it well. I wouldn't say it tanked. I still had a decent GPA. I didn't fail any classes. I ended my last semester just with C's. I didn't fail any classes. But I mean, throughout, all college in general, I was getting really good grades. But I got to a point where business and coaching was what I wanted to do. And so right after that, I just cut the plug.
Wish I did that, but oh well.
Yeah, I was like, fuck this. Why am I going to marketing class learning about shit that I'm learning right now on Instagram? You know what I mean? They don't even talk about social media and marketing classes. I'm like, this is stupid. And that's where I realized it just wasn't for me.
Yeah, I didn't even go to school for what I'm doing now. Mm-hmm. I went to school for exercise science.
Yeah.
Not even using my degree.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you're in college right now and if you want to do something else where your degree isn't going to help you, then fucking do that. You can always take a break from college and go back. Yeah. I told myself, I'm going to take a break.
This one's kind of 1, 2. Who got you into fitness and how did you learn so much about fitness?
Same answer.
Huh?
Same answer for both of us.
Yeah. Christian.
Yeah.
Christian is one. I found him somehow. I was watching something on YouTube and just found one of his videos. He was 18 at the time. I think I was I don't even know how old I was.
You've been following him longer than me.
Yeah. I started subscribing to him when he was about 5,000 subscribers. So this is right when I think Gymshark picked him up. Well, even before Gymshark picked him up. I literally went down to like his very first video.
Really?
I've literally watched every single one
Damn,
of his videos.
that's nuts.
So, and he's the reason how I got into macros, and I just started researching
Yeah.
about macros. I literally had no clue what those were, and he was actually my first coach.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
So
Yeah, definitely Christian. I mean, what I was learning from him, in a sense, that like I was applying in my own life, and I was actually seeing results, and then people were asking me, how do you see those results? And I was kind of like telling them what I learned, and then what do you know? Now I do that for a living.
I know.
I got one asked, when you reject certain clients, what is the main reason? The energy, it's just not there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always going to provide fucking energy. You know, I'm always going to emotionally believe in you as an individual to be able to achieve something. Like, no matter what, no matter where you come from, no matter what point in your life you are, you have a certain amount of greatness in you. And it's my job to bring that out of you. So if you don't believe you can even bring that out of yourself with my guidance and help, I know I can sense that in your voice. Like, there's the energy is just not there, right? You're making excuses already on the call, you know what I mean? Like, I want to see genuine passion and excitement for like starting a brand new chapter of your life. And if it's not there, I will literally just cut it early, because like we keep our spots limited, and like I don't work with people that lose. Yeah. Whether you're a prep client or whether you're a normal client, I won't work with you if you lose. Like, there's no point in me working with you 16 weeks if you're just not gonna do what's required. You know what I mean? So like, yeah. Just the same thing with life. I protect my energy.
This one is from one of our friends. Can I get a no problem?
No problem.
No problem.
God damn it.
This other one, how did you and Chad meet? So, I was shooting for Max at the time when I first, like right before I met him. And I was, at the time, I think Max told me to come shoot this girl, which at the time was his girlfriend. And that's pretty much how we met. We met at the gym, I was shooting her, and then kind of started talking. And then I think a couple months later after that, I hit you up for shoots. And then we just started talking from there, hanging out.
Yeah, that is how it worked. I think it's like, I think it was the shoot for Lockdown or something.
Yeah.
And then me, you, and Kelvin started getting close.
Mm-hmm. And then
Yeah.
The other supplement company, and then.
Oh yeah, Core Nutritionals. Yeah. Yeah, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically how it started off. And in a sense, I always tell Hyman and Kelvin this both. It's like they made me feel like I was finally at home in Houston after like being here for like a while. That was nice. And then all of a sudden, Hyman was like, hey, I told him like my plans for like the summer shredding series. Like, hey, why don't I just do it? I'm like, all right, let's go.
And then that's how we've made it this far. I don't even know how long has it been now.
Who would have thought, dude? Not me.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. Towards the beginning of this year, we started kind of in March.
Mm-hmm.
I asked, are you natty? Yes. And, you know, for the reasonable time being, I will 98% probably choose to be natural in my lifetime. It's a good time. It's a good time being natural. Let me tell you.
What is the biggest challenge you have faced in life, and how did you overcome it?
Oh, that's a hard one.
I think for me, it was like my mindset compared to how it is now.
Yeah.
My mindset back then was so bad.
Oh, 100%.
And especially like mentally too. Like, this was even before like meeting Chad and everybody else too. Like, I was kind of doing my own thing. I always like doubted myself, and like always like got in my head and just overthink everything. And it just came to the point where I was like, I've gotten like, I had to step back for a little bit because I didn't realize how far I went from last year to like this year, and like just the growth of me as a person too.
Yeah.
And then after meeting you guys, it kind of like, and especially after LA, it kind of switched my mindset a lot more.
Yeah.
And just like the more like positivity, and just like kind of not like also not giving a fuck about what other people think or just comparing yourself to. So.
Dude, that's huge, man. If I definitely look back to a challenge, I like how the way this question is framed, because any hard part in your life is simply a challenge, and you're gonna be able to look back and talk about it just like this. So like if you're going through some shit right now, it's a challenge, okay?
Yeah.
It's not an obstacle. So definitely where, like, you know, I decided to, you know, drop out of school and say, you know, I'm taking a big risk and moving here to Houston. Was around October, and October was pretty much a month into 2 months of me getting out of the relationship that I was in. And I came down here to Houston with I felt like I was in this place of momentum. I felt like very, very excited to tackle this new chapter in my life. And it kind of came to a halt when I went through that breakup. And by no means was the breakup bad, but I was just emotionally hanging on. Mm-hmm. In a sense, hey, I want it back. I felt comfortable in it. And then in a sense, that was where my mind was, and it wasn't where it was when I originally decided to just drop out and move and grow my business. Yeah. And so I lost a sense of my vision and my goals and my aspirations, which made me feel lost again, and it made me feel insecure as shit. And I dealt with that for pretty much the rest of the year until December, until I was like, dude, you got a new year coming up, turn it the fuck on. And I read a book called The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone, which helped a lot around that time. I actually met Nick and Allie and hung out with Justin and Gina and Mason again towards the end of the year. That helped definitely a ton. But just that kind of mental switch for me. It's dude, you know what you're made of, you know what you need to do, you know what you came here for, step it the fuck up.
Yeah. Especially the people you're around.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Dude, I was going out to the club and fucking partying every single weekend, for real. So that's just not me. It's not at all. When's the last time I had alcohol? Let alone on prep, but for real. Oh yeah. Top 3 most impactful people in your life this year. That's some deep shit. 1 is far. 100%. Definitely. 100%, bro. This dude, we met in January, and obviously this dude came on and with open arms and was hey, I want let me know how Beyond Build's going, what he's struggling with, what can I help you with? And literally just came to me like that, and it ended up being a lot of things, and I ended up bringing him on, and now it's without Far, I would not have been able to build Beyond Build where it is 100%. So I'm super, super grateful for that. He's been a massive impact on me, because in a sense he's been able to make me think bigger. That's the best way to explain it. Because I was already thinking big, but then the way Far speaks things to me, and the way we talk, it's dude, set your goals higher. Why aren't you setting them higher? And it's because I kind of get in my own head and I don't think about it. But then Far has helped me actually understand what's attainable. And now when you hear us talk, it's to the average person, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But we know what's actually able to be done.
Yeah. And there's one thing that me and Far talked about is just your growth, how it used to be just kind of about yourself and the group. Yeah. And now it's just about us.
100%. It's not I, it's not Chad anymore. It's about us. It's about we. It's how can I bring up others in my life? How can I give? Because in a sense, it's I don't fucking care about achievement anymore. I just care about fulfillment. Yeah. And that mindset alone has just made me grow so much. Mentally, physically, financially, everything. God, who else? I need top Far. Put his bald head right here.
Definitely you, because for me also, because I never thought I had this work ethic that I do now. Because compared to myself, beginning of this year to compared to last year too, I was a lazy piece of shit. And now that I'm working every single day, I'm loving it too. Yeah. And just that energy also, it's it's so fun. I complain about work sometimes, but at the same time, I love it. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Damn. That's dope, bro. Yeah. Fuck yeah, I appreciate that, brother.
Oh yeah, man.
Dope. Yeah, that's it. You surround yourself around people that hustle. You know what I mean? And don't let, you easily, bro, you could have let my hustle even discourage you or make you feel insecure. But in a sense, you admire it and hey, I can do that too. Mm-hmm. That's the change. That's all people need to understand.
Right when me and Chad met, I was maybe working with one other person, and then I was working with Chad, and then the whole quarantine thing happened, and I was only working with him. I was shit, I don't know what I'm going to do about work. Yeah. And then I started working on other stuff, and then working with him a lot longer, then other people kept showing up, and now fully booked. It's
dude, when you put down your head and you work hard on something that actually brings you joy, passion, fulfillment, the right opportunities come to you.
Yeah.
Like you got to think about that. Like they don't like they come when you actually put in the work, no matter what it is. Other two people that have definitely impacted me the most this year, definitely Nick, my coach. He's been an incredible mentor for me since we began working together. But you know, he's definitely made me a better coach. I learn from him all the time. I pick his brain all the time. You know, just the way he coaches in general helps me serve my people better. He's also helped me a lot with business, right? And actually as well as far like helping me know what's actually attainable. He put me in contact with Lauren, who's our new head coach in Beyond Built. He's been a massive help to me. He's like, it's weird to say this, but like we understand he's like a father figure almost. Yeah, he's like he's like the bro dad of the group. So for real, Nick, and then I would say Andy Frisella and Tony Robbins. I'll give a tie. I've been reading, listening to a lot of Tony. I've been listening to a lot of Andy. And you know, Tony comes from an approach where like, hey, it's very like emotional, spiritual depth, and Andy comes at it like, hey, like tough love is real love, like, you know, being a realist and always telling the truth, and kind of like a mix of those two is like kind of woken me up in a sense a lot this year as well. Yeah.
I think my last one, it's probably still the same thing every year. My mom. Yeah. Because she actually pretty much was the one that pushed me to do this. Because she was like, I'd rather you do this now instead of regretting it when you're younger. Dude. And obviously my dad at the time did not understand that. Yeah. And we got into a huge argument, but my mom was like always there.
Shout out to your mom, bro. Yeah, that's for awesome. Real.
So.
Yeah, shout out to my parents too, because like, even though my mom started bawling when I said I was gonna drop out, like they ended up understanding it 100%. They fully support me, which is super dope. Yeah.
Here's a good one. Okay. When are you getting a girlfriend?
Is that a question for me or you?
Both, I guess.
Oh, well, you had to answer first, dude.
I don't know. I'm not really looking, but like, it's not like something I'm looking for right now. But if it happens, it happens. That's like the answer I have.
You know, honestly, in my mindset right now, it's like, I can't even say if it happens, it happens. Yeah. I'm like, me is happening right now. And in a sense, you know, that could sound selfish. It can sound like, well, like, no, it's not, because me focusing on my growth, you know, I was in a relationship just last year this time. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, me focusing on my growth right now, I know is bringing massive levels of fulfillment, happiness, confidence into my life. And it's, you know, this positive energy that's inside me is spreading around me, and I'm giving nothing but positive energy out. So in a sense, like, I know with what I have in mind and the goals that I'm chasing right now, I just know like I'm in a time where I need to focus on me. Yeah. And then I might get to a point where something happens, it happens. You know, life happens. You can never expect anything, right? But right now I'm just so me focused that it's like, I don't even think about it, bro. You know, I had this conversation with Justin. I don't even think about fucking sex. I don't think about girls. Like, bro, it's weird. Like, I just think about my growth.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it's been for me, because I've been single 4 years now. Yeah. Almost 5. And it's like, I pretty much like where he is right now. I'm still working on it though. But at the same time, like, I chose me for those like past 4 or 5 years, and at the same time, that if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be here either. I'd probably still be back home, doing I don't know what.
Yeah, well, I also look at it from this perspective, because a lot of this is because I look up to my dad in the sense, like, you know, when I was like born, I was born into something like, I mean, a good situation. And, you know, I would love to be able to, like, when I settle down and I have a wife and kids, and I say settle down for a reason. Yeah. You know, I'm in no position to settle down in anything at all. And that's it. That's it. But, like, when I do, when I said I have a kid and a family, like, I want to be able to provide without having to worry. Yeah. You know, I don't want to be stressed out all the damn time. You know what I mean? I want that. Yeah, bro, that's it.
Yeah. Work harder when you're younger.
Exactly, yeah. Bro. I'm only 22.
Yeah, exactly.
Give me a break.
I'm 25.
All right. Love the simple cue you mentioned for squat on your past video. Anything for bench? I actually posted one on the bench press. As far as like simple cues for the bench press, I always say that knuckles up makes it a lot harder, but it's gonna activate your chest a lot more. Don't bounce it off your chest. and actually focus on using your biceps as much as possible, get a good chest contraction rather than just moving the weight up and down. Now that's if you actually want to grow your chest. If you're looking to get a strong ass bench, listen to this guy.
Definitely a good arch. I feel like a retraction of the shoulders help too.
100%, yeah.
For like,
for both.
Just in general, yeah. Foot positioning, if you have that like leg drive, and obviously like on top of like just benches or just like workouts in general, like programming.
Yeah. That's really it.
My bench is still shit.
Stay tight as hell. I mean,
yeah.
Don't let your shoulders come off the bench. That's it.
Or your butt.
Yeah, that too.
This is another one. Last date you've been on. Shit. My last one, I think it was last October. It's been almost a year.
Literally last August, like with my ex.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't even crossed that path again. Because, you know, also a lot of it's because, like, I know what it put me into a spot mentally that I hated. Yeah. And I won't go back to that spot ever again. How do you have the clearest mother effing skin? Well, dieting alone, you're gonna get a diet glow, right? Your water's up, you're eating your fruits, your vegetables, you're getting your micronutrients, you're eating a lot cleaner, right? A lot more whole foods. Dieting glow is a real thing. I also ran Accutane. My skin got pretty bad since moving here to Houston, and I was also in a gaining phase, so like inflammation didn't help, and the community didn't help, the new environment didn't help. I was breaking out pretty damn bad, so I was just like, fuck this. Like, my literal job is to show up on social media, and like sometimes like I literally wouldn't post a picture or story. And I was like, I don't care how much this medication is, I'm doing it for 6 months, and it's honestly been the best decision of my life.
Who's your favorite model? I can't answer that, but the one who answered that or asked that question, you can guess that. Biggest fear in starting up your own business?
Dude, this is gonna sound like such like a cocky answer, but like I didn't. You know what I mean? Like, this is around the time where I was listening to a lot of Gary Vee.
Yeah.
And the exact thing he doesn't talk about is not fearing shit. And so I was like, well, you know, I have a pretty good job right now while I'm in college. I'm studying to get a degree. I'm 1 year away. You know, if I start this business right now as kind of like my side hustle, I called it my side hustle while I was working on my job.
Yeah.
I was like, what is there to fear? You know what I mean? And then once the side hustle ended up making more money than the actual job itself. And then right away, I was like, this is it. You know, like why question it if it's already doing that? So I really didn't fear shit. I wish I could answer that question more clearly, but you know, I wouldn't have been able to say that without Gary Vee.
I think for me, it was just more, it was a little thing. It wasn't something too big. It's just like what other people thought at the moment. But now it's like, it's like I'm doing my stuff. I could care less what other people think. And like, I didn't, also at the same time, I didn't realize how much of a support system I had. That kind of like drove everything a lot faster too.
Yeah. Going back to Gary too, like I think it's the one thing that got in my head, and one thing that my mom said even is like, how are you gonna make like enough money being a personal trainer?
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that almost got to me, but then Gary's like, well, choose happiness, and like I still say that, like, I don't care if you're making 100K, 200K, or 50K, but you're way happier doing what you're doing to make 50K. Choose that all the time. So, you know, if I wasn't binge watching Gary Vee during college, I don't know if I'd be here, honestly. Talk about impactful people in my life, but not this year. I haven't been watching Gary as much this year. What is your favorite to train, push, pull, or leg? That is the hardest question ever for me to ask right now, or answer. I really like pull. There's something about back pumps that are just unreal. Back and biceps has always been my favorite to train.
Mine's always been a push day.
Really?
I love having a chest pump and like a tricep pump.
I think it's because back or pulling is my strong suit. Like, I'm not a strong presser. But like I can row and I can pull like a lot of weight, so the pull is always my favorite.
Yeah. Who do you miss out of all of your friends? I'm not gonna say anybody specifically, but I do miss a lot of my friends from back in Pennsylvania, because that's honestly one of the biggest groups that kind of changed my life. Because at that time, I halfway through college, I didn't really know anybody. I kind of moved to college nearby where my girlfriend at the time was, such a bad idea. But the friends that I made after like we broke up and stuff, because at that point I was really to myself. I was a very introverted person compared to like the person I am today, and that's where I started kind of saying I don't give a fuck. Let me just start meeting new people, just going out, just doing whatever, saying yes to everything. I used to say no to everything, and that's pretty much where I met all these amazing people that are still in my life today.
That's spontaneous action, brother.
Yeah, and I still talk to a lot of them every day. We do like trips every year, so yeah, my PA friends.
That's what's up. Well, obviously, there's a certain crew in Nebraska which I could say I missed, right? Definitely, there's a certain crew from high school that actually did stick around. I didn't hesitate to cut people off right after high school, like at all. But there's some people that I still stay in contact with, and then the people that I grew up with in my neighborhood, like I've literally known my entire life. And there's still a couple of them that I'm in communication with on a daily basis. Nothing but fucking good times and good memories growing up. So definitely that crew. I got one that from a client to literally piss me off. It's thoughts on keto. I'm gonna answer in one sentence.
Who is it?
No, just give me one sentence, dude. All I need is one sentence. It's like, if you like carbs,
Oh my god.
don't do it. Because then you can't eat carbs. If you want energy, don't do it. If you want to do something that you can actually sustain to for a long period of time, don't do it. That's it.
Do you have a crush right now?
Bro, this is some soft ass shit.
I
Bro.
know.
Move the fuck on.
I told you.
Leave that in there.
What are you most proud of that you've accomplished since college? Honestly, taking the risk to do what I want. Taking the risk that I didn't think I was going to take, and it brought me all the way here to Houston. I went from DC to Colorado to here, and I can tell you it was a long journey. Last year was a rough year, but we got to this point. So making that accomplishment to chase your dream, chase your passion.
No matter whatever becomes accomplished in my life, I know none of it would have happened if I decided to just take that big risk that a lot of people, are in truth, like really scared to take, which is fine. It is scary as shit, like really is. But if there's anything I'm most proud of, it's definitely that. Just following happiness and following what I knew was gonna bring me fulfillment every single day, for sure.
A lot of my close friends know about the whole story. I told you my whole story,
yeah.
So just telling that whole story, it's not going to be easy. Especially for me, it wasn't that easy, but you have to have that drive and you can't give up. Like there was times I was like, I can't do this anymore, but you gotta change that mindset, and that's what I did. I was like, I gotta keep pushing no matter what happens.
Yeah.
And it's gotten me so far.
Yeah.
And it's still getting me further.
I don't ask if you can do anything else besides fitness and coaching, what would it be? Literally the only thing that sparks my interest is, wow, like, I wish I would have pursued, like, actual professional basketball more seriously. Like, that's the only other thing I think I could find myself being truly, truly happy doing right now in my life. I haven't touched the basketball in years, but, like, if I would have actually kept going with it, I feel like I could have had a shot, and that shot would have been worth it, but that's the only other thing I can think of. Like, what else? I can't really think of what else I would actually like fully invest in to make myself this happy after like what I've actually done with it. It's like I can't do anything else now.
Funny thing is, before I started this, I wanted to be a professional skateboarder.
Yeah.
A professional skateboarder. I used to skate so much back then, but I got hurt way too much, so I couldn't do it.
Little Asian Tony Hawk actually.
What motivated you to start a vlog, and how did you start? I personally can't even do mine, but
what motivated me to do it? It's funny. I actually got a DM from someone that was like, "Hey, you should start vlogging." And this was like while I was prepping for summer shredding, and I literally that same week just bought a camera and started. No, that was right after summer shredding.
2018.
Yeah, dude, summer shredding, man. The first year I competed in summer shredding for sure, because that was when I just started to, start posting content on Instagram. And then when I actually went to the show, that's where I met Holden, and like all these people that just had cameras all the time, and they were vlogging the whole experience of the trip. And I'm like, well, like I watch YouTubers all the time. I binge watch Christian, Steve Cook. Like why don't I just do it?
Yeah.
And then when I got back, I even didn't do it, but I got one DM. It's like, hey man, you should start vlogging. And I literally bought my G7 X Mark II that same week, and I made my first video was a 10,000 calorie challenge, and I just ran with it. I loved it. I felt natural behind it, and I was like, and then people actually supported and watched it, and I was like, well, the number one mistake YouTubers make is they post one video and quit, or post like 30 and quit. And I was like, well, I'm gonna do this thing. I'm gonna everyone had to start somewhere. All these YouTubers that I watch, yeah, they maybe started earlier, but like if I keep going with it, I know it's gonna get somewhere. Like I'm posting 3 times a week right now. Like I don't have millions of subscribers, but I'm still gonna do it because at least one person's watching this right now. You know what I mean? This is a Q&A. This is a long ass video. There'd be only 2 people watching at this point. I don't care. That's 2 people watching. Yeah.
What got you into videography, and how many years have you been doing it? It was when I think it was part of middle school, part of high school. We were skateboarding a lot back then, and a lot of my friends actually got into like filming. So that's actually how I started filming. Like, if I couldn't become a professional skateboarder, I wanted to become like a filmer for like a professional skater. That'd be so cool. So I used to do that so much. And then it got to the point towards, I think, end of high school where I kind of stopped. I kind of stopped skateboarding too because I got hurt way too much. And I got into fitness, and that's what I went to college for. And I think it was either freshman year of college or sophomore year of college. One of my best friends back home picked up a camera, and he was like, hey, do you want to go out and shoot, do all this stuff? And that's pretty much how that happened. And then I started like getting into it again. And I started loving it. At the time, I used to get in front of the camera.
Yeah?
Yeah, I used to be the model.
Love that, brother.
And that's like, I got my own camera. I started shooting people and then shooting videos. I kind of started trying to do vlogs. I tried to do like fitness stuff. And then that's how I started like meeting like people like Max, Peter from Ape. Going to like these expos, just kind of like networking. I didn't really still know how to use a camera that much. But I would say like, how many years? Probably like 5, maybe more. But full time now, a little over a year.
I got one. Best piece of advice you've ever been given. Definitely by my older half sister. At the time, like I was working for her, and that was like the job that was pretty damn good. And I knew I was able to move up in that company, especially my sister kind of running it. And she saw like my passion behind fitness and like helping others and stuff like that. And she's like, why don't you just start your own coaching business and like start an LLC? And I think like actually getting, making the investment to like start my LLC at that point was like, yo, I'm all in. This is it. And she encouraged me to go all in. And that's why like we ended up leaving her job. Like she didn't have any hard feelings. So like that was definitely the best advice I've ever heard, especially from my sister, who at the time like knew that like I was gonna be the only one to graduate school. And she was like, yeah, chase the dream. So I was like, yeah, shout out to you, Carol.
Age you lost your virginity?
I don't even know how old I was, bro.
I was 18.
What age are you? What age was I in 2015, 16? I don't even know. What was I?
5 years ago.
16 or 17? I think I was 17. Yeah.
Another one, first kiss. Mine was actually middle school. My middle school girlfriend, 6th grade.
Damn, what a baller, bro. What a savage. I think mine was actually 6th grade too, dude. That's funny.
Damn.
I got one. Audi R8 in January, exclamation point, question mark. I don't know, but a purchase is going to be made around January, December. You never know what it could be. You never know. What could this purchase be? A house? A car? We just have to wait and see. Obviously, it'll be a car. Like, why do we wait and see?
What is your most embarrassing moment? It takes a lot for me to get embarrassed. Cause like I don't give a fuck. Cause the last thing that like could get embarrassing was whenever I was breaking up with my ex.
Yeah.
It was like the last time we were like breaking up. Like that was the second or third time.
Yeah.
And we were like at IHOP. This was like 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Oh, and yeah.
There was like people. There was a lot of people up there at that time. And she was like, why are you doing this? Like, why do you want to do this? And like, we literally ate during that whole time. I don't think we spoke at all.
That's so funny.
And then towards the end of the like dinner or whatever you want to call it, she's like, "Is that it?" I was like, "Yeah." And she like picks up the glass of water and throws it at me, and then she just walks out. I just like looked around. I was like, I just laughed. I was like, if you try to embarrass me like that, it's not gonna work. But I just laughed it off.
Yeah.
The waiters came out. I was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah," just laughing.
Oh my god, bro.
I was like, whatever, but
wow, dude. I think mine was definitely. I think it was around like freshman year of high school where I had an iPod Touch. I didn't even have a. Well, I had like a little like. I still had like a little flip phone, but my iPod Touch was like the coolest thing ever. Everyone else had an iPhone, but I was like, "Mom, what the fuck? I don't have an iPhone." So anyways, at that time I was still a freshman. Like, my mom like had the password to my iPod. Like, she wanted to like monitor it and stuff. So like, you know, I was freshman year in high school. And she saw that I was like texting this girl and I was sending her like shirtless photos of me, my skinny ass freshman year of high school. At that, you probably don't think that's embarrassing, but at that time, that was like the most embarrassing moment of my life for me. Because I was like such a mama's boy, dude. So when she saw that, I was like, God, and like, yeah, it was really fucking embarrassing. And that's where the talk came from my dad and everything. Yeah, so that's funny.
I can't think of an embarrassing moment. The only thing I can remember is all the way to like kindergarten where we were on a field trip and I shit myself.
Dude, that's embarrassing as hell, bro.
Yeah. That's the only thing I can remember from that far. I can't remember any like that's like was more embarrassing than that.
Your ideal woman, your type physically. Wait, is that a question of like your ideal woman or is it physical?
I would just go with the first question of that.
Well,
ideal.
Well, physically, you know, I like someone that's pretty fit. Like, I do like someone that has a decent amount of lean muscle because you know your physique, your I mean how you look is a result of your personal standards. I'm a firm believer in that. But definitely someone that is very down to earth, or someone's very genuine but actually passionate about something. Is driven, very very goal driven. Actually has things that they want to achieve and knows what direction they want to go. In a sense that like, hey, this person is certain in the direction and the path they want to go. They're not lost. You know, they're not.
Yeah.
You know, the way I look at it is I won't tolerate an older version of myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially like also like having that independence too. Like you don't have to rely on your partner.
100%. Self-fulfilled as fuck. Yeah. Brunette, tan, nice white teeth.
I don't have a preference with that. Like hair color. Race, no.
Jerry, you're my ideal woman. No problem.
But I don't know. My last one was stupid. Who are you talking to? I'm not talking to anybody.
Bro, don't skip it.
I don't have any more.
That's it?
From me, at least.
Okay. How did you start a podcast is one. I just bought a mic and I just talking to the mic. A lot of people just have like this podcasting software and all these like little mixers and I'm like, what does that actually do? I don't know. I talk into the mic and I spit value, someone's gonna listen to it. I don't care what it sounds like. Yeah. It's a pretty nice mic, it's $120. Nice. Like, this is kind of expensive. I'm like, probably sounds good. I think it sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah, I just add a little bass and treble.
I have one, I forgot.
Yeah.
How's your brand coming along? It's coming really good. I haven't really said too much besides like to friends, but we got clothing coming.
Hey yo.
Hopefully this shipment ships out September 15th. I think you guys will be watching this on this Sunday. So hopefully in the next 2 weeks and hopefully a launch in November. So.
Damn, this boy's moving fast. No, he actually is moving fast. It's cool. Like he kind of just like went all in on that and like I can see how happy it makes you and I'm like, it's gonna do well. Yeah. You know, when it actually brings you that much fulfillment, it's always gonna do well as long as you're persistent with it. Is this a question for me too?
You can answer it too.
I was gonna make a separate video on that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
I gotta ask, are you a cat or a dog person? Well,
dog.
I am definitely a dog person for sure. But like, I definitely want a dog in the future. But right now, with like, dogs are freaking commitments. Like dogs are like kids. You gotta really take care of them. And Jerry is so easy to take care of. Like I wasn't even planning on getting a pet, but like. Jerry's, she's already 4 years old. She's very independent. She's a strong, independent woman. You know what I mean? Jerry, all she does is cuddle with me. She eats, she sleeps, and she doesn't really do anything besides that. So she's really easy to take care of. So definitely a dog person though. I love dogs more, but nothing There's no animal I love more in this world than Jerry right here.
If I wasn't not really deathly allergic, but if I wasn't allergic to cats, I would get a cat too.
Yeah, man, they're friendly. I usually don't like cats though. Most cats are kind of like standoffish, but Jerry, no matter who you are, will come up to you and cuddle all the time, which is the most adorable thing in the world. I got one last question. What got you into pursuing your own business? I feel like this is something that was kind of covered throughout the entire Q&A, but
something that made me happy.
Happiness, man. That's it. Happiness for sure. And once I was actually able to be told and physically see that I can be such an impact on someone's life, it's like there's no greater feeling. And I think, two things. If you can focus on how can my talent serve the world, you'll find happiness. And how can I, find fulfillment and not just achievement? And how can I start giving more? I think all of those things put together, if you can find that in your life, which you will if you stay patient and you just follow your intuition, like it'll happen. Yeah. So, what a good way to end this Q&A.
Good one.
Hell yeah! If you guys have any more questions, please feel free to drop any comments down below. I'd love to type back my answer to you. If you made it to the end of this video, it's probably a long video, so I really do appreciate you. Kind of makes up for the whole hot wings challenge kind of cutting off, but we got a lot of things planned. And since we're at the end of the video, we'll just kind of drop. We're going to Cancun after summer shredding, a couple weeks after summer shredding, which will be fun. Nick wants me to do an NPC show after summer shredding, so we're thinking about that because I could just cruise right into it, so it makes sense. But we'll see. Then I would actually start NPC Road to Nationals kind of thing, but we'll see. So we got. Serious? I don't know. We got a lot of things in the works. There's a lot of things going on back half of this year. The summer shredding meetup in October for my Beyond Built crew is coming up. Obviously, the same time I compete, we got about what's looking like over 40-50 people coming to this place, which is absolutely nuts. So a lot of big things planned for the end of the year, and this guy's gonna get his clothing launched.
Yep.
I want to start a project in 2021. So
big things happening next year.
We'll take you along for the journey as always. Peace out, and I'll see you in the next video.